Kristi, S4's Physicist, and today's video is all about the things that you can see in the night sky in June. This month's full moon will be on the 5th of June. June's full moon is sometimes also called the strawberry moon. You may have heard of some of the different names that we give full moons throughout the year. The most common names we use come from Native American traditions. The different names they used for each full moon would signify what was happening in nature at that time of year. June's full moon was called the strawberry moon because it appeared when the strawberries were ready to be harvested. It's also a sign that we're moving from spring into summer. Here in Wales, we're in the northern hemisphere, which is every part of the earth north of the equator. This means that our summer will start in June. As we move from winter to spring to summer, the days are getting longer, but the nights are getting shorter. This is because the Earth's axis is on a tilt. In the winter, the North Pole is tilted away from the sun, but in the summer, it's tilted towards the sun. This means that we get more sunlight and longer days in the summer than in the winter. The longest day of the year is called the summer solstice, and it marks the start of summer. This year, the summer solstice will be on the 20th of June. The nights are so short at the moment that we probably shouldn't call them nights at all. In the daytime, the sun is in the sky. In the evening, when it reaches the horizon, that's the sunset. When the sun goes below the horizon and disappears, that's twilight. As the sun keeps going lower and lower below the horizon, the sky will get darker, and only when it gets a certain height below the horizon, 18 degrees, we call it night. In Wales, from the end of May till about the mid-July, the sun never actually gets low enough below the horizon for it to be nighttime. This means that what we call night in June is actually just a really long twilight. June has the shortest and the brightest nights of the year, which you think would be bad news for astronomers. But summer can actually be really good for sky viewing. The nights in June are quite warm, so it's much nicer to sit in your garden and look in the sky than in January. The skies also tend to be clearer, so you won't have as many clouds blocking your view of the stars. There's also some objects and phenomena that you can only see in the summer. My favourite of these are noctilucent clouds. Noctilucent clouds are the clouds that form highest in the atmosphere, about 85 kilometres above the ground. They contain ice crystals and they form above the North Pole, but they're so high in the sky that we can actually see them from here in Wales. Because of their height, in the evening and at night time the sun will hit them from below and they will light up. We'll see them as some colourful tendrils and patterns across the sky. June is a really good month for spotting the constellation Hercules. It will be directly overhead at about midnight each night. In last month's May video, I showed you how to find the constellation Bootes. If you can find the Big Dipper in the sky and find the arc of its handle, if you follow that arc, you'll get to the bright star Arcturus. Arcturus is at the bottom of Bootes' kite-shaped body. If you look over Bootes' right shoulder, you'll find a trapezium, or a square that is wider at the top than it is at the bottom. This is the main body or keystone of Hercules. His arms and legs are coming out of the four corners of his body. You might notice though that Hercules is actually standing on his head, which isn't the most heroic of poses. On the side of Hercules' body, you'll find an object called M13. You can see this object with the naked eye, and it looks like a pretty blurry blob. But M13 is something called a globular cluster. The globular cluster is a really tightly packed group of ancient stars. June also gives us a really good chance to spot the moons of Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system, and it has nearly 80 moons. The four that are easiest to spot, and probably the most famous, are called the Galilean moons. They're called this because they were first discovered by Galileo over 400 years ago. The first of these moons is Io, which has a surface covered in volcanoes. The second of these moons is Europa. Europa is covered in a layer of ice, but scientists think there's probably an ocean underneath. This ocean would be the most likely place for us to find extraterrestrial life inside our solar system. The next moon is Ganymede, which is the biggest moon in our whole solar system. Ganymede even has its own magnetic field, just like Earth. The last of the full moons is Callisto, which is absolutely covered in craters. This makes it look almost sparkly in photos taken by satellites. If you can find Jupiter in the sky, it's really easy to spot the shadows that the moons cast on its surface. Jupiter will look like a really bright star in the sky that doesn't twinkle. Once you've found Jupiter, you can find where these four moons are by looking for their shadows on its surface. You can see these with any telescope and even a pair of binoculars. I've even been told you can see it with the naked eye if you've got good enough eyesight. I'm not sure if I believe that, so if you think you can, let me know because I want to know if it's true. If you want to know more about what you can see in June, just check out the bonus material that will go up with this video. For more science lessons and videos, check out our website and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For even more content and for some behind the scenes footage, follow us on social media too. Look out for next month's video for what's in the night sky in July. But until then, goodbye.